I'm here. Nope, I got it. Thank you. Yeah, the Wi-Fi, I couldn't get on the Wi-Fi. It is what it is. So, it is what it is. That light is super bright in my face. So we're going to have to do something else because I can't handle that. Blue? Not blue. So my light got broken sometime during last night, sometime during yesterday. I don't know what happened. So it's kind of being a bitch. And I am just going to let you guys know, probably no Reiki this evening. I know a lot of you guys depend on that, but I got super, super car sick yesterday on the way here. Added an hour onto our already 8-hour drive. And I have not been feeling very good today. So I've got some chesty stuff going on. And I'm trying to not get sick. So been taking medicine, doing everything that I know to do here. So happy Thanksgiving, my friends. Did get to have Thanksgiving with Brody and Allie. I'm here in Georgia. And yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. We ate, we took a nap. We ate, we took a nap. Like it's been a good day. It's been a good day. So yeah. So unfortunately, no Reiki this evening. But I am going to do some reads. I've already got a few people on my list for tonight. And yeah, we're just gonna chit chat. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do some things. And I decided that instead of making you guys wait until, thank you, Paige. I decided that instead of making you guys wait until tomorrow morning or wait till midnight, if you already know this, if you are subscribed to my site, but my Black Friday kits will go on sale at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So in less than 30 minutes, they will go on sale. I'm excited. I'm excited. These are some things that I've been working on during the move, trying to get everything ready for you guys. So, yeah. I have several kits that are limited edition just for Black Friday that will release here in just a little bit. So let me tell you, you want to know? You want to know? So one of the things that are live now, they aren't just Black Friday things, but they're live now. Blowout boxes are back until this weekend. Well, I think until Monday. I don't know, I'll have to look. One of the things that will go live at 10 o'clock is the Rich Witch treasure chest. So you guys know that the Rich Witch line has been one of my staples for a couple of years now. I did have someone swipe the recipe from my shop this last fall, so we have revamped it. It's more powerful. It still has the same smell. It has powdered crystals. It's crystal and herb infused. So in this treasure chest is a large, like 3.4 ounce lotion, an 8 ounce sugar scrub, an oil roller. So the oil, what smells like the lotion and everything else. A linen spray or a room spray, and then stones, a couple of there'll be little tiny stones. They go in your wallet or in your purse, wherever you keep your money. There'll be instructions with it so you'll know what to do. Those will go on sale at 10. And then, so I'm super excited about that. Don't tell Misty Dawn. Don't tell Misty Dawn. The other thing that will go on sale for Black Friday are goddess kits. I went back and forth if I was going to do God and goddess kits, and no offense to the gods themselves, but I felt like there was a lot more, there she is, speak of the devil. I felt like there was a lot more goddesses that practitioners work with than there were gods. And, I'll probably do God kits starting this spring or so. I do have a full line of God and goddess, like ritual soaks and so on. Misty, we were just talking about in less than 30 minutes. I will release my Black Friday goodies that are limited editions. And one of them is a Rich Witch treasure chest. But these goddess kits are limited edition too. There's a limited number of the Rich Witch kits. There's a limited number of each one of these goddess kits. So in the goddess kit, they're a goddess ritual kit. So this is to help you either get ready to do a ritual for this goddess, to dedicate something to that goddess, just to feel closer, whatever you need it for. It has all of that built in. So it's a sugar scrub, a lotion, an 8-ounce stress candle, a 10-ounce ritual bath soak, which should last you a couple of soaks, depending on how much you like to put in there. And then a stone kit for that goddess. Do you guys wait till you hear the goddesses that I picked? I had a problem because there are a lot of fantastic ones. And in looking at all of this, I was like, shit, how do I choose? So here's who I chose. You ready? We have Kali, who is one of my girls. We have Hecate. We have Isis. We have Santa Muerte. We have the Morrigan. We have Mama Bridget. We have Lilith. We have Hera. We have Hel. And we have Freya. I picked 10 fantastic, hardcore, hard-hitting goddesses. Apparently, I have a thing for goddesses of death and destruction and so on. But I thought about doing Aphrodite. I thought about doing Demeter. I thought about doing those goddesses. But Yule is not about really this like love and light. Yule is not really about, the same things that spring are about. Yule is all about the darkness. Yule is all about surviving the dark. Yule is all about getting ready to kind of hunker down for the winter and so on. So those are the goddesses I picked. There are a limited number. There are 44 of each goddess's kits that are available. They'll go on sale in 20 minutes. And let me look, because now I don't remember how many Rich Witch treasure kits there are. I can tell you. 77. There are only 77 of the Rich Witch treasure kits. The other thing that I put out, there are 2 new items that I put out. One is the simmer pot kits. So I do a simmer pot a lot, or as much as I can. And I have been stockpiling ingredients apparently. And when I moved the shop, I was like, where the fuck did this come from? And then I was like, oh yeah, I ordered that. I ordered that. So there are simmer pot kits on the site. And these simmer pot kits are pretty good size. So depending on how big of a pot you want to use, each one of these kits is good for at least 2 simmer pots, if not more. The only thing you got to add to it is your own moon water. But here are, if I can get them to pull up, you can get jinx removing, cleanse and protect, fuck around and find out, prosperity and abundance, and peace and happiness. I felt like those were good ones, and I have a fuck ton of shit for all of those. I'm just saying. A fuck ton of shit for all of those. And I had mentioned doing Zodiac boxes, like a monthly Zodiac box. And I looked at so here's my problem with the Zodiac boxes. Not everybody is an Aquarius. Not everybody is a Sagittarius. Not everybody is a Libra. So to get a box for that Zodiac sign, if you're not that sign, you're not really going to associate with that box. You know what I'm saying? So the only other way to do that was to allow people to pick what Zodiac they wanted, which becomes a logistic nightmare on my end. Been there, done that. So I'm not about to kind of do that, okay? Instead, we're doing a monthly ritual box. Y'all are going to have to forgive me with this crap in my throat. So with these monthly ritual boxes, it's a whole kit. It's a whole kit, and each one of them is designed for that month. You can buy this single by itself, like you can buy one just for February, or you can get them on a subscription, whatever you want to do. But these come with a ritual candle. They come with a crystal kit. They come with something bath and beauty related. So either a bath soak, a lotion, a soap, etc. Not all of those things are going to come in one box, okay? And then there will also be a unique item every month that coincides with that. So like for the wolf moon, there may be a wolf totem in there. Do you see what I'm saying? So every one of these ritual boxes coincide with that type of moon that is for that. That is for that. Words aren't my friend. Words aren't my friend. Yes, both sides of my head are still shaved. I just have my bangs down because in my getting ready to come here and see my son, I thought, you know what? My bangs are down to my nose. I should trim them, and I trimmed them too short. So yes, my head is still shaved. See, know that. For those of you guys who are asking about this, that was simply a trial run. We'll say that. I have some really, really good makeup that doesn't really come off. Like it's smudge proof, etc. Doesn't really come off. So I was wearing that to see if, that was that was something I wanted to do. I do really dig the look of it, but I also kind of like being able to take it off. I'm not ready to fully commit to a solid neck piece yet. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But I did like the idea of being able to, slim my own jawline. Like that was pretty groovy. That was pretty groovy. Just saying. So those are the new things. On Monday, on Cyber Monday, there will be a few goodies that come out because I know some of you guys love Cyber Monday just as much as you love Black Friday. So yeah. Just saying what I'm saying. But in the meantime, I do have some reads to do. So we're going to get over here to that. Like I said, y'all are going to have to forgive me a little bit for this fun shit that's going on right now. If you do not get on tonight's list, no big deal. You can get on tomorrow's list. I'm doing mini past life reads tonight and tomorrow. I am actually, all right. Are we ready? I know everybody's ready. I know that some of you guys kind of rely on Reiki and so on, and you'll just have to forgive me. Just saying. Why is this? Just saying. I'm not a good sick person. Like when I'm sick, I'm like, fuck this, fuck that. I don't want to do this. Like, rah, 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 rah. Like that's where I'm at usually. I have tons of Blue Lotus in stock. Yes, I do. Because Blue Lotus is one of my favorite herbs. I almost always have it in stock. And the last time I ordered Blue Lotus, I ordered some, forgot I ordered it. So I ordered it again, except I doubled what I ordered. So the first time I ordered a pound, and then I ordered 2 pounds. And then I saw that those 2 pounds weren't going to come in any amount of time. And so I ordered from another wholesaler, another 2 pounds. And then all of that literally came at the same time. All of it came at the same time. So yeah, I have Blue Lotus out everyone's ass. I'm just saying. Yeah. So one of the reasons that Blue Lotus is one of my favorite herbs is that it is a light psychedelic. It's not because I want to go do some tripping and see some shit. I use Blue Lotus to meditate. I use Blue Lotus to travel. I use it to see some shit and some stuff. When I first started really learning and hardcore shamanic traveling and doing things like that, and this happens to everybody, okay? So don't think that you're going to just say, you know what, today I'm going to be a traveler and I'm going to just do it. You really have to put in the effort and the time and the practice to be able to get to where you don't need anything to help you. But Blue Lotus was burnt in the temples in Delphi. Blue Lotus was burnt with a lot of the oracles to kind of keep them seeing stuff. So whenever when they wanted to, let's say I went to Susie over here. I don't know. That's not a great name for an oracle. Susie. I went to Susie, okay, back in the ancient Greek times. And Susie knew I was coming. So she would light blue lotus in the temple. She would breathe in the smoke and she would see what she saw, right? The problem with that is that they used to burn blue lotus almost 24/7 in the temples, which is why a lot of the oracles died young, because it kept them in a constant in-between state, which is very hard on the body. Another fun fact about that is that most of the people that were selected as oracles when they were younger were epileptic. So you would have a seizure, your parents would say, oh, it's from the gods, and they would give you to the fucking temple. So a lot of things that are psychedelics lower the seizure threshold, meaning that these people were kept in a constant epileptic state because they were seeing things and so on. So a lot of them died really, really young, like 14, 15, 16, because of that. But you can smoke lotus, you can drink it. I prefer to drink it. I feel like I personally get a better result from drinking it. If you guys would like to try my blend, on my website is a blend called the Blue Raven. Now, there's a little warning that comes with the Blue Raven. It has Damiana in it on top of Blue Lotus. Damiana is kind of in the same category as Blue Lotus, but it is hard on your liver, okay? So if you already have liver problems, I highly recommend not using Damiana, like ingesting it. You can have a super healthy liver. Like I have a super healthy liver, but I drink 1 cup of that tea and the next day I'm like, oh, fucking liver. I feel like Beavis, like, oh, my liver, you know, like it's fucking stupid. In fact, I do make that joke every time I drink it. But the only thing about lotus that you guys need to know, if you put it in a tea, it tastes like shit. Like it legit tastes like dog shit. I'm not going to lie. Okay, wait, I don't know what dog shit tastes like, but it tastes like shit, okay? It is a tea that every kind of mint needs to go on top of it. It just does. And it's a shooter. It's not a, hey, let's sit and chat and drink tea. It's a, you shoot that fucking bitch. Like, yeah, you don't fuck around. It's gross. But the thing about Blue Lotus that I really love, all lotus really, but Blue Lotus especially, is used for meditative states. The longer you steep it, the stronger it gets. I just took some medicines. I'm hoping this like stops doing this shit. And I'm hoping I don't lose my voice, because that's kind of what I'm worried about. So the longer you steep it, the stronger it gets. While you're steeping that shit, you get your shit set up. Okay? You get your shit set up. Because when you shoot that tea, when you shoot that Blue Raven or your peppermint with Blue Lotus, whatever, that's going to hit you in like 3 to 5 minutes. Like you need to be stationary. You are not going to be running into walls. The walls aren't going to be moving. The floor's not going to take you on a magic carpet ride. But this is a time when you're going to hit that meditative state in 3 to 5 minutes. In other words, you sit where you're going to be and you shoot that tea where you're going to sit. Okay? Then I always will turn my phone recorder on, because I've gotten in the habit of saying what I'm seeing, because you think when you're in that traveling, when you're in that meditative state, you think that you're going to remember the things that you saw because they were so amazing and, you know, mind-blowing. You're not going to remember them. You aren't. Because that is one of the horrible things about traveling, especially with shamanic traveling. You're not meant to really keep every little teeny tiny thing of that in here. It's in the ether. That's how you bring it back. You utilize your fucking phone. You put your little voice recorder on iPhone. It looks like that. You put your little iPhone, your little phone, whatever, right in front of you. And as you're seeing stuff, you say it out loud, okay? You can go back and listen to it later. And it's like a logic puzzle that you got to figure out. So it's fantastic. It's fantastic. But I do a lot of things with Blue Lotus. It is one of my favorite things. So, yeah. I'm talking just a little bit until I'll do reads here in a second because I want to get, what's up, Miss Hippie Mama? How are you? Thank you for that. I want to turn these on here in just a minute. So yeah, so what other question can I ask? How long does it last? Maybe 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes, if that. So you don't have to worry about being fucked up all night. You don't have to worry about being fucked up the next day. Yeah. You don't have to worry about any of that. So that's the other thing I love about it, because like with actual psychedelics and things like that, like you're on that ride until your metabolism is done. With Lotus, The other thing too, pink Lotus, I use in a tea that I make called Buddhist Dreams for insomnia to help you sleep. So it will help you sleep. But I do want to also tell you guys that every type of lotus is also an aphrodisiac. So, do with that what you will. You can see some shit and do some shit at the same time. Like, I'm just saying, it's a great thing. I'm just saying, do with that what you will. How many of y'all giggled at that? Oh, yes. I have carried Blue Lotus for years. I love Blue Lotus. Would you fail? Nope. Now, Red Lotus, I don't have in stock right now. I don't know why, but the wholesalers that I get my Red Lotus from, they haven't had it in a while. Nor have they had yellow. I have blue and pink in stock. I think I'm running low on white as well. So yeah. It's been very interesting that certain crops have been wiped out on accident or whatever, the ones that really help people. Red Lotus is more for fertility, for love workings, for things like that. So yeah, no, I haven't, Hippie Mama. And I'm not going to. So yeah. So Vic, I designed a tea called Buddhist Dreams. There is no actual tea in it at all. There's no caffeine. But will my teas make it through customs? Absolutely. I ship them all over the world. The Buddhist Dreams tea that I make, about every 6 to 8 months, I go through a bout of insomnia, and it's fucking stupid. Like, it just is. It's just fucking stupid. So this tea is designed to help you get to sleep and help you stay asleep. So I've been able to sleep like a full 8 hours with this tea. Sometimes it's only 6, but I mean, when you're sleeping in like 30, 45-minute bursts or a couple hour bursts, 6 hours is amazing. I'm just saying. So yeah, it's one of my favorite teas. I will say this, all of my teas, if you guys get anything from me, all of my teas taste like they smell. They taste like they smell. I'm a very big stickler for smells. Like I can't do rotten smells. I just can't. So if you get a tea that smells like double mint gum, such as my fuck getting sick tea, it's going to taste like double mint gum. So yeah. I got 4 minutes. I'm so glad that all of them you like. I'm glad, Brandon. I would agree with you, Katrina. I don't take any sleep meds. I did take some like melatonin and stuff for a little while, and I swear just randomly one day my brain was like, and now that doesn't work. Now that doesn't work. The anniversary tea. Well, we'll be bringing all of those back in stock, I promise. If you guys would like to order any of that, you can do so on my website. It's thebluebodhi.com, or you can click my little profile-y thing right there. You know what? We're going to put on some dark classic Christmas music so my thing will not continue to go off. I don't right now, Miss Raven. I need to print some more. I need to print a lot more, actually. I have a few orders I still got to get out. So, I keep saying offline. Did y'all crash my website? Is that what just happened? Okay, let me see. Thank you, Miss Hippie Mama. All right, let's see. So the Blue Lotus is on there in stock. Why does it say that? Hold, please. Okay. So if you just search Blue Lotus, you're going to find it. You're also going to find Blue Lotus pre-rolls. Okay, let's see here. My site is being really slow. The internet is being really slow, just saying. And if you just look up Blue Raven on my website, you will find the tea. I was just making sure everything was on there. Yep, you will find it. You know, I think it's close enough for me to open those. I think it's close enough for me to make those Black Friday things go live. So there you go. They are live. If you guys would like to grab one of those limited edition goddess kits or rich witch treasure kits, they're live. Go for it. Go for it. One of the things I got to do when I get back home is go through here and add in some new inventory that we got in. So there you go. What do you mean, Miss Eunice? All right. Are we ready for some past life reads? Zane, you are first, love. Sass, are you here? Because I got to show you something. Y'all know, here's something that's really, really funny. I love you, Gavin. How are you? I thought I saw Sass a second ago. She may not be here anymore. Not yet, Miss Nancy. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Oh, okay. No, it's just one of my favorite base teas. So I carry a black tea in the shop that is like peach, apricot, and ginger. And oh my God, it's like some of my favorite stuff. What's up, Alicia? Hi, Alicia. Hi, Tony. How are you guys? The one for insomnia on my website is called Buddhist Dreams. What's up, Sam? It's called Buddhist Dreams. I'm so glad you guys are good. Well, I thought she was here, but I guess she's not. What's up, Miss Joy? Did you guys all have a good Thanksgiving? I ate way too much. My stomach hurts. There it is. You got some of it in your blowout box? It's so, oh my God, and it smells so good. It smells so good. It smells so good. All right, Zane, you ready? So if you guys are on my list tonight or tomorrow, know that this is the past life that is affecting you the most right now. I have done past life readings and stuff like that for a long time, like 12 years now, 12, 13 years now. Every single person, every single soul has more than one past life. And I'm going to explain these to you. Zane gets to wait for just a minute here. I'm going to kind of explain this to you before I start reading. A lot of you guys that are new to following me may know this, may not know this, and I always feel like a fucking crazy person when I talk about this, but it is what it is. So in 1996, I actually died twice, and I remember everything from those two experiences so vividly. I don't think I could ever forget them. But one of the things that I learned, I guess, we're going to just put that in air quotes, and some of you guys already know this, feel this way, etc. So time is not a line. Time is not a line. You go from A to B to C. You know what I mean? Time is not a line. The Black Friday specials, they should be on there. If you look up goddess kits or if you look up Rich Witch, you'll find them. So time is not a line. It's not from here to here to here to here, and then you're done. Time is like a cylinder. And in the middle is one of those, do you remember like at Spencer's and like all the cool weird shops in the mall when you were younger or even now, and it has the little electric thing in the middle and all the stuff goes out like that and you touch it, and time is like that. Time is almost like a living thing in its own, in that it ebbs and flows in certain ways. So I love the explanation of how timelines work that they do in The Good Place, where it looks like the cursive writing of Jeremy Bearimy. I love that explanation. It's so funny. So you can have a past life that technically is in the future. Does that make sense? So, oh, I love that, Keisha. The coolest read I've ever got was a past life read from you. Thank you. So you can have a past life that was your one right before this life you're in. You can have one that is a couple thousand years in the future. You can have one that is a couple of thousand years in the past. I mean, they're all over the place. The reason that I say that is because I've had a lot of people that are like, well, how can a life that's technically in the future affect me now? Because time is not a line. Time isn't a line. You don't have this life and then another life and then another life and then finally the life we're talking about. Everything is fluid. That's a great, who said the fluid? Thank you. Tracy said time is fluid. You're right. So yeah. So Zane, let's talk about this. So when I do these reads, this is the life that is affecting you the most right now, whether there is something you have to clear up, whether there is something you need to accomplish, a karmic bond, a soul bond, something like that. Well, first of all, you have a very balanced soul. You incarnate just as much in a feminine way as you do in a masculine way. So you're very, very well balanced. So you're currently having an issue in this meat sack right now with balance. You're currently having an issue of swinging hardcore towards really addressing feelings and being hardcore in your feelings. And then this whole avenue over here of super hardcore We don't talk about shit. Like you're swinging wildly back and forth. And it's like you kind of feel like you don't have any control over it right now. So some of that, what's interesting is there are 2 female cards, 2 male cards. And both of these, well, I'll show you. So here's the female cards that have pulled. And the reason I'm showing, usually I don't show you guys the cards because I kind of channel off of them, but I want to show you this here. This is how they came up, first and then second. Okay, notice the blues and the darker color and then the gold. Gold and then blues and darker colors with the red. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you put them together, they literally look like a mirror. Do you see what I'm saying? They look like a mirror. So this life that's affecting you the most right now, I'm going to put it really about 400 years ago, like almost to the dot. Your soul is very precise with stuff. And when things don't go precise how your soul expects them to go, it kind of makes you panic. And that's what starts this swing back and forth. So the reason that all of this is coming up now and affecting you now, and I have a feeling that it's really been hardcore in the last 3 weeks. It started, 3 is a big number for you right now. It started about 3 months ago, but in the last 3 weeks, it has been really hardcore. Of you not being able to get balance no matter what you do. So in this life that we're talking about 400 years ago, you actually were a twin. And you shouldn't have been a twin. So it's kind of weird. And it's almost as if you have parts of both twins in your soul, because you should not have been a twin. There is something that your mother drank for fertility that ended up making you into a twin. So you have this very dualistic personality. But with this life right here, neither one of you survived past like 7 or 8. And I don't think that it was, I think it was just a sickness. Like it wasn't anything violent, so don't think that. It was just a sickness. But the thing is, the male twin watched the sister twin, watched the female twin pass away first, knowing that he couldn't help her, and then he passed away shortly after. So there's a lot of feeling of not finishing stuff. Even when you do finish something, you feel like there's still stuff not finished. You're very, very big on a duality thing. Like I would not be surprised if you're one of those people that you go to the store, you buy 2 packs of toilet paper. So then when you get down to 1, you buy another pack. Like you're very, very specific with how you keep things in your house. I don't know what's up with the turning around. Like you literally standing in a spot and doing a circle, just randomly. So in this life with these 2 right here, with the twins, the family that you were born to they were very wealthy. They had a lot of land. I am going to say that this is probably in England, because even though there's some French architecture and there's some French tapestries and so on, the vast majority of the images and the things seem to me to be English. There's a huge estate that is really kind of a blonde gray stone. I don't know how else to explain it. The roof is a slate, really dark slate color. Out front are big, huge pillars. Not pillars. The stone fence. There we go. With the big things in the middle. Whatever this is, whatever this sickness is that happened with the 2 of you, you tend to feel loss very deeply because of this as well. The two of you were watched by like nannies and so on. You didn't really get to see your parents very much. Your parents actually passed away and they didn't even tell the two of you. You found out because you got away from one of them after the sister passes. You got away from one of them, went to try to run down to your parents' room, and basically found out that your parents had already passed away. So you feel this, I feel like I'm like tugging on my clothes, like I don't know what's going on, like I need to tug on my clothes continually. So there is a tremendous amount of loss in this life. There's a split of you splitting like that. And there's a lot of feeling of not just unaccomplishment, but of never even getting the chance to accomplish anything. Because only being 7 or 8, like you're not accomplishing anything. You're getting to play. You're getting to be born to a certain family. You're getting to, whatever it is. And this sickness hit really quick like this. It drug out a little longer on you for some reason. You didn't like succumb to it very easily. So there's some health issues that are going on now with you that it's almost like they're remnants of just bullshit that you can't get rid of. So this is why like doctors can't really find, when you go and you're like, I just feel like shit, like I don't know what's going on, etc. This is why they kind of can't find anything, because there's not really anything for them to find, if that makes sense. So there's a painting. There's a painting of the two of you. But what's funny is one of the only things I can see are on the boy are the shoes. They're like these like forest emerald green color slippers with the white socks, that come up with the lace or whatever at the top, and then kind of gray trousers. So the boy is standing, the girl is sitting, and I'm going to say she's either in like a golden or a yellow dress. I can't see her face. But if you were to look at the painting, like say, here's the painting, the boy is standing here and the girl is sitting here. And she's sitting with her hands in her lap, with her hair just perfectly. So I'm betting you could probably find that painting. Another reason that this is popping up right now, not just because you're feeling very dualistic, but because there is still an issue with you in your soul, the masculine part of you that couldn't help the sister, that couldn't help the feminine part, and so you still kind of blame yourself for that loss. So now in this meat sack, anytime something bad happens to somebody that you care about, and it literally, they got a hangnail, you somehow feel like it's your fault. That anytime something bad happens, you somehow feel like it might be your fault. Like you could have fixed it. Like you could have helped them or whatever. Even though logically you're like, dude, that is dumb. Like I couldn't do that. I couldn't have saved, that car accident or whatever. You hold things very personally because you're still not over this. Even though there wasn't anything that you could do. Does that make sense? Even though there wasn't anything that you could do. I will say this. This was a very happy childhood. Like, even though you didn't get to see your parents a crazy amount in this life, the two of you had a very, very happy childhood. Even though you had a lot of land, even though your family was wealthy, even though you kind of had whatever you wanted, you weren't like spoiled little shits. You know what I mean? Y'all were very nice, very well-mannered children. You guys had friends. Like, this was a really, really good childhood until it wasn't. Do you see what I'm saying? But here's what I'm going to recommend. Because a lot of times when I see these, I'm like, okay, here's how this is affecting you. Here's what I would say to do to help clear this up. I would I would have somebody do an Akashic Records reading for you, and I would just ask in that Akashic Record. So let me explain what Akashic Records are to those of you guys that don't know. Akashic Records are the records of your soul, okay? So when you go to have an Akashic Records reading done, or you go on Zoom or whatever, this is not just to ask, like, if you should move in with Johnny down the street. This is not just to ask, like, you know, will I ever find true love? That's not what those readings are for. An Akashic Record reading is for something like this, because there is something here that's causing this break, that's causing this mirror, this duality that you're still dealing with. It's popping up. It's popping up randomly throughout your life and will continue to. With an Akashic Records reading, I would specifically ask, what is it that you need to accomplish? What is it you need to do? What is it you need to let go of, etc., when it comes to the past life with your twin? Because there is something there that needs to be done, and I wish I could tell you what it was. Like with just this, I can't tell you what it is. It's not popping up, basically. So I would recommend finding somebody that you trust, somebody that you vibe with, to do an Akashic Records reading for you. And that should be one. Usually come to an Akashic Records reading with 3 or 4 hardcore questions. I would specifically ask about this, and just, what is it I need to do to clear up any past life issues, you know, with this twin. It's not a twin flame, like, it's just a twin. It's literally your soul went like that. Your soul went like this. It's something you've been interested in a long time, so that's weird. I mean, just saying. But with this as well, there's a birthmark involved with this twin, with being part of this twin. I don't know if you still have it now, or if you have something there in its place. It's something right here. It's something like right under your jawline. I don't know what it is, whether it's like a big freckle or whatever. The birthmark that you had was almost a triangle, like little freckles right there. So and it's the right side. So we'll say that. I wish I could really tell you more. There was a lot of running and playing and enjoying life. I mean, it was really a good childhood. You have freckles that form a diamond on the right over here on your jaw. I love that. I love that. That's a cool line of freckles. I'm just saying. But I mean, the good thing is it wasn't really something. This life wasn't really a hard life. It wasn't a hard life. It was just that feeling of helplessness that your soul still carries with you, of not being able to help, you know? So yeah, I'd 100% recommend an Akashic Record reading. So, we're going to do something real quick here. Oh, well, okay. I was going to lower the number of my tickets down, but it looks like y'all have pretty much already cleared them out. So, just saying what I'm saying. Okay. All right, Miss Allison Reynolds, you are next. What is TBD? To be determined. To be determined. Would you guys like me to pin or put on my profile the limited edition boxes? I will be happy to do so if you'd like me to. Kay's telling me goodnight. All right, I will put them on there. I miss my kiddo when I'm gone. All right, so let's put those on the link tree for y'all. Oh, no, stop. Me and this laptop are about to fight. I just want you guys to know. We're about to fight right in his face. Right in his face. It's taken forever. Hey, Tina. If you don't want to smoke them, you can. That's what they're for. Or you can literally use what's in there as a tea. Either one. So the Rich Witch is on there. I do not need your birthday, no. Hey, Debbie, how are you? I'm like really worried I'm gonna lose my voice. Gotta love it. You're funny, Lisa. Yeah, I slept a lot today. I let Allie drive most of the way yesterday. I was really, really car sick. I usually only get car sick if I'm in the back seat. The Black Friday things are now on my link tree there for you guys. All right, Miss Allison, are you ready? I hope so, Raven. I mean, we'll see. You are so funny. Y'all are funny. Too many. This is something really hardcore buried. Okay. I was gonna make a joke about you just being stubborn, but I don't think this is just being stubborn. Oh, you're a wanderer. Okay. All right. So, Miss Allison. Your soul is kind of a wanderer. The reason that you feel like... You are so funny, Christine. Oh my God. The reason that you feel like you can't seem to I'm trying to think of the right word. Put solid roots in something. The reason that you feel like you're always jumping from one thing to the next. The reason that you feel like you have problems making a decision is because your soul kind of wanders a little bit. You'll put roots down and then you'll kind of decide after a little bit, a couple years, like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do this. So you kind of go over here and you do this, and then you go over here and you do this, and then you go over here and you do this. So it's frustrating for you in this meat sack right now because throughout history, it's been much easier to just pick up stuff and then, go somewhere else. But it's a little harder now because bills and transferring shit and everything. So your soul needs that constant movement to be happy. It's not that you're looking for anything. It's not that you're trying to accomplish anything. It's not that you're not searching. You just like to wander. Like, you just like to wander. Your soul just likes to wander. So the life that's affecting you the most, the past life that's affecting you the most right now, I'm going to say that this one is probably in what is now like Iraq. It's not Egypt. And to be honest, I'm going to say that this is probably about 800 BC. This is a very old life. Probably one of your first, I would say. And in this one, you were born a woman. So there's a lot of things in this life. There's a lot. This is a lot. Okay. All right. So you were married off to someone that you absolutely did not even like, much less love, and kind of were forced to have children with this person. And then there's like 823 BC. There's some kind of issue, some kind of skirmish. The person that you're forced to marry is about 20 years older than you, has a lot of land, has, a small little militia, things like that. There is like fighting amongst the little, I don't know what they were called in that area, but the little landowners and stuff. There's a fire on your land. The house is burnt down. So you have like 4 kids with this person, and you lose 2 of the younger ones in the fire, and you escape with your older 2. And this kind of starts the wandering aspect because you can't really go back home. That is like burnt to the ground, kind of y'all are in the wind a little bit. And you can't really go to your family You haven't seen them in years. So in this life, you also have a very strained relationship with your family, your parents, and stuff like that. There's like a little bit of a hatred there of having to marry someone that you didn't like. The other aspect of this life that's really affecting you hardcore is, even though there was a lot of like really bad things that happen like that, and the middle part, the first part of your adult life is just not kind at all. After you... It's so funny. It's like after you leave, there's a little period of wandering, and then you are magical with sewing, with making things, with designing things. And it's almost like you start... I'm trying to figure out what this is that you're making. Because it's very ornate, but it's small. It's almost like a scarf. Maybe it's a belt. I don't know what it is you're making, but I mean, it is majorly ornate. It's only about that thick. Or that wide, excuse me, but it's long. So I don't know if it's a belt. I don't know if it's part of a turban. I don't know what it is, but it's amazingly ornate. And these become very highly sought after. And so this gives you the money to be able to wander and to do things. You actually end up marrying someone because, being a woman, you have to have someone with you and so on. So you end up marrying someone that, I guess today we would call it like a lavender marriage. This is someone that was never going to get married. You made a business arrangement with this man, and he was able to do whatever he wanted to do, and you had no interest in any kind of relations, having more children. So y'all made like a business decision to get, these two so both of y'all would be safe, basically. So while that first part of your adult life was filled with a lot of trauma and things like that, the end of this life was fantastic. Childhood wise, pretty decent. You did do kind of a lot of traveling around whatever this was that you make, whatever this is that you make. It's very expensive. It's very highly sought after. And so a lot of noblemen and people that own land and people that have a lot of money come to you to make these things. You also end up having kind of a shop of women that make these items for you, that help you hand make these items for you. So you become like a very prominent member of society because you know so many people and you're in the ear of so many people. And from what happened to you in the beginning of this adult life, you absolutely do not want anything to do with politics or whatever, but you also know the value of information. You know the value of information. So it's like you have dirt on everyone towards the end of your life. The end of your life is really easy. It's just, you just kind of pass away in your sleep. There's no trauma associated with the end of your life or anything like that, which is a fantastic thing. But why it's affecting you now is, for some reason, you are feeling this powerless aspect, the part that you felt when you were in the beginning part of your adult life, in this marriage, where you were stuck there. You didn't have a choice. You had to have these children, like, etc. You didn't have a choice. So you're feeling this kind of like helpless aspect. But the thing is, you know that this powerful aspect is there as well. So with this powerful aspect, you're kind of waiting for that to hit you. But the thing is, well, here's what I'm going to say. That thing is already there. Hey, Miss Gail, how are you this evening? That power aspect, it's already there. just for some reason, this trauma part is popping up before, and you're not able to get to this. What I'm going to recommend, and what I think is going to be the easiest for you to be able to get out of this kind of trauma aspect and move into this more powerful aspect, so you can have the money to wander and you can do the things that your soul wants you to do or feels like you should do. There are a lot of fantastic meditations and stuff on YouTube that have to do with past life trauma. I normally do not ever recommend that you guys go to someone that does past life regression unless they are a licensed therapist, and here's why. When you are dealing with trauma like this, now this isn't like trauma from being unalive. This is trauma from being forced into a marriage, forced to have children with someone that you didn't even like, much less love. There is a lot of trauma associated with that. If you have someone that's using hypnosis to regress you, and they're digging into this kind of trauma, and then they don't know how to help you, they don't know how to pull you back out of that, they don't know how to help you unpack that, deal with that, etc., you can end up way worse than when you went in. So if you guys are ever thinking about past life regression, I want you to be very, very careful with that. If that person is a licensed therapist, if they have done a lot of work with trauma and unpacking trauma, dealing, helping to heal from trauma, then yes, I would consider it. But somebody that just got a certificate online and they've never actually practiced in person, or someone that they don't have any kind of therapy background, counseling background, you can end up in a way, way worse aspect than when you started. So what I recommend, if you have stuff like that, is start with some of the meditations on YouTube. The ones you can either do the guided meditations, you can do the sleep meditations. Binaural beats will also help with that. I could also recommend talking to a spiritual counselor about some of these things. But be really careful how far you delve down this, because it's not, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this. It's not your job in this meat sack to deal with every aspect of that trauma. It's just the aspect of, I feel helpless and this is holding me back from this powerful badassery over here. So being able to let go of this feeling of I can't, I'm stuck. That is the key to you being able to move forward with this I'm a powerful badass motherfucker. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't really need to delve too far down a lot of that. That was something you had to deal with in that lifetime, and you dealt with it, and it's done. The person that caused you that pain, there was revenge, it's done. Do you see what I'm saying? You're always going to feel that loss of those two children. You're always going to feel that sting of not being good enough. But this badassery right here, and this wandering aspect, and you being a very powerful individual and just kind of knowing all of the things about people, that is where you want to get to. So I would start with some guided meditations and some binaural beats when it comes to letting go of this powerless feeling. So, but yeah, I don't think there's a crazy amount to do here either to have that breakthrough, if that makes sense to you. Sometimes we make things way harder than they are. I don't think you have a lot to do to break through to this powerful aspect, because you feel the powerful aspect, you're ready for the powerful aspect, and you want this done. Also, when I drew these two cards out, they came out like this, like whopper jawed. So you're already on the path to that. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Let's see here. Who's next? Miss Tina. You are so welcome. Good. I'm glad it makes sense. What's the Fae Bait tea? So the Fae Bait tea is one that got created on a live several years ago. A long time ago, I used to do lives where I would design a tea while I was on the live. And with this, we were doing elemental teas because I have, earth, air, fire, water. And so I did a Fae tea. It's tea for the Fae. And there is one that's feminine and one that's masculine. I'm pretty sure that's you. Hang on just a minute, T. Well, it's Tina M. And let's see here. I'm pretty sure that you are the only Tina that I have. Do you, Raven? Yeah, some of you guys do. Yeah, some of you guys do. Yeah, you're the only Tina I have, so that would be you, girl. That would be you, love. And how are you? You have a lot of things that we're trying to pop out. What is my favorite tea? Ooh, to be honest, I really like the Fuck Getting Sick tea, and I really like the Bodhi's Mojo tea. The Bodhi's Mojo tea is really fucking fantastic. Thank you, Zahara. Right back at you. You have a really powerful mean streak in there. That's funny. Okay. You have a pretty balanced soul too. But yours, you like to do like male, female, male, female. You like it to be like, I would not be surprised if you have OCD, because your soul is very like 1, 2, 1, 2. It has to go in order. And if something were to happen and you went like male, female, female, it would fuck up your equilibrium and your pattern that you had going on. So you get really frustrated. Your soul gets really frustrated when people fuck up your pattern. Like when you have something going on, this is how it's supposed to go, and then something fucks up your pattern, like it just pisses you off. So the life that we're talking about here, my nose is itching, somebody's talking about me. The life that we're talking about here, I'm going to say this one's about 225 years ago. In that life here, you were born a male. Okay. Do you have a thing for pirates, my friend? So, in this one, you're born a male. You're born literally right in the middle of London. And it's kind of interesting. I can't see a lot about your childhood. I can see you being born. You were born to a family, well, to really a mother. There was not really a father involved. And I see I kind of see you being born and then suddenly you're like 6. It's weird, like 6. And you're on your own in the street. and you end up becoming like one of those kind of just street rats for a while. When you hit about 15, you decide that you have one of these things where like you almost get really, really hurt. I have a feeling that you probably watch a couple of kids that kind of run in your little group get in trouble. One of them gets seriously injured, and you don't want any part of it. So in not wanting any part of it, you decide that you're going to just go out on a ship, go be a sailor, go do whatever. So you end up getting on a ship as just, an everything boy, a cabin boy, whatever it is you can do, you're going to do it. And that brings you over to the Caribbean. And in bringing you over to the Caribbean, it's almost like a fucking movie. Hi, Cal. Thank you. Right back at you. This ship gets captured by this ship. That ship gets captured by that ship. Like, it's just this craziness. But somehow through all of this stuff, you make sure that you are one that you're like, you know what? I'm happy to go with you. Like, whatever. You are one that's ready to kind of jump ranks whenever you need to, or not ranks, but jump ship whenever you need to, just to stay alive. There's an issue with typhoons here. There's an issue with, well, I guess it wouldn't be typhoons. It's a hurricane here. Typhoons are usually in the Japan, China, etc. But there's an issue with water, with storms here. So I wouldn't be surprised if you still have this intense inner fear of massive waves, of drowning, of things like that. That is a thing with this life, and I'm just going to leave it at that. That is a thing. There are 2 different incidents in this life right here that we're talking about with storms. The first one completely tears the ship to pieces, but you guys are close. It washes you close enough to a very large island with a couple cities on it. So in that one, you kind of are saved a little bit, as you're able to get on some debris and basically get to the shore. The second one, nobody is lucky. We'll just say that. Nobody is lucky. So I would not be surprised if you actually still have nightmares about this, about being on a ship that breaks apart and, fade to black. But there's no marriage here. There's no kids here there, like, that about. There's nothing like that. I mean, this is literally just a fucking pirate life. I'm trying to see what it is, why this is affecting you, because this was a very free life. And I keep coming back to that, how free it was of you just to be able to do whatever. So I have a feeling that this right here, you're feeling the need for that freedom. When you were younger, you had those dreams. You're feeling the need for this freedom. Like, you're feeling the need to just say, fuck it, and go off and do whatever. So that comes with good and bad, obviously. Johnny Depp obsession. Okay, that's funny. So I think that why this is popping up right now, you miss that freedom. I think that even though there was nothing that rooted you anywhere, there was no specific ship you stayed on forever, there was no specific captain you served under forever, there was no, you were literally on your own from the time you were 6 years old in this life. So that freedom and that kind of fuck you spirit, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, I think that your soul is kind of missing that a little bit. I think that this is probably one of the lives that your soul really felt the most alive in. because it was always a life or death situation in all of these different things. So I don't think that this is affecting you badly. I think it could if this longing for freedom and to kind of say fuck off to everything, if that were to win out, I think that it would bother you in a deep way. But I'm going to kind of encourage you to embrace this feeling. I'm just saying, I'm going to encourage you to kind of embrace this feeling, because by squishing this feeling down and not addressing it, not giving it, not allowing your soul to feel this kind of freedom, I'm trying to figure out the best way to tell you to deal with this. You know what I mean? Because obviously, I don't think it's a great idea that you just head out and join a modern day pirate ship, because they're nothing like they were then. But at the same time, you need some way to harness this freedom. You need some way to harness this freedom. There's also a lot of anger here, and there's a lot of just anger at the world. And I would not be surprised if that's been kind of bubbling up again lately. What the hell was that? That was weird. I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of anger that you don't know where this anger is coming from is popping up and causing some issues. My recommendation for dealing with that, you can make you an anger jar. Like, you can make you an anger jar. It doesn't have to be for anyone in particular or any situation in particular. But know that when you make a jar like this, I totally need to do a video of this. Because I have one. I was taught to do this when I was younger. Christine, could you remind me to make a video on how to do this? I'll have to do it when I get back home. But you can make yourself an anger jar, and you can put all of your anger into that jar. You can use ingredients that are meant to bind something. You can use ingredients that are meant to protect, to calm something down. Anything that you would want to do to keep that anger in that bottle. Do you see what I'm saying? In that jar. And you don't, when you make it, you don't fill it up. You add a little bit. Usually it's a big jar. Usually it's a pretty good sized jar. I've done a couple throughout my life. The one I have right now, it's about like that. It's just a mason jar. It's about like that. But every time you feel that anger welling up in there, I was taught to like burn something, to burn an ingredient, burn a piece of paper or whatever I right then in that moment am angry about, I burn it, it goes in the jar. I'll add moon water, I'll add chaos water, I'll add whatever. But I only fill maybe about that much at a time, just little teeny tiny bit. So you have to be careful that your anger doesn't like overwhelm and suddenly your jar is overflowing with gross shit. But I need to do a video. I'll do a video because I feel like something like that would help you tremendously. I feel like it would help you tremendously. What is up, Queen Renee? Where have you been? Where have you been? I mean, I got a jar of dirt. That's exactly it. Just angry dirt. Just angry dirt. I'm so glad, Luna. So, yeah. You need to find a healthy way to let this anger kind of disintegrate, because you're still holding on to it in there. Does that make sense, love? You are so welcome. I think it's funny that you said you have a Johnny Depp obsession. Especially with that. Healing and momming. Well, I've missed seeing you in the lives too, girl. I'm glad that you're okay. Yeah, when I get home, I will do a video of that. I don't know why I haven't ever done one for you guys before. It's not hard. The hardest part of doing it is to not fill the jar up. Is to only fill a little bit at a time. Only fill a little bit at a time. That's the hard part. Like, that is the hard part. I am not gonna lie. It is so hard. All right, Miss Kathy. I may have to go get a cough drop so I don't lose my voice. Just so you guys know, if I do have to tap out tonight, I will be doing this tomorrow and then Saturday night as well. Saturday night will be to catch up on any that I don't get done. All right, Miss Kathy Poo. Yeah, I'm just trying for this not to settle down in my chest, you know what I mean? Thank you for that, Viola. Yeah, I got, to be honest, here's what's funny, like everybody and their dog is sick right now, so I could have got it when I had to go to the emergency room last week. I could have got it just from somebody in the grocery store. I could, you know what I mean? Like, everybody is sick, so there's not even any way to pinpoint. And a lot of people I know back at home are sick that are around all the time. So I am so sorry, Christina. But yesterday, we got here kind of late and I did not sleep very good. Like, I did not sleep very good. Like, I got some Vicks Vapo Rub and stuff today, and thankfully I brought a lot of nausea medicine with me. But yeah, you know how you can just feel something getting in here? That's what my grandma used to say. Like, I just feel it in my chest. That's how I feel. Like, I can feel it in my throat, and I'm pretty sure I'll end up losing my voice. So, yeah, it is definitely flu, COVID, hate baby season. Good night, Miss Joy. All right, Miss Kathy. Yeah, I'm going to try to get through as many of these as I can before my throat just decides to be on fire. Oh, thank you, Serena. Yeah, Allie went and picked Brody up this morning, and I promised him that I would have him bacon and eggs ready because they don't ever get anything but like powdered eggs over there, and he wanted over easy eggs, so I had him breakfast ready when they got here, and then we all ate breakfast together, and then we literally, all of us went and took a nap. We all went and took a nap. So, yeah, we went and took a nap. I took a couple hour nap. Got up, made Thanksgiving lunch, dinner, and then, yeah. So, all right, Miss Kathy. So a lot of what's bothering you right now is this like powerless feeling. All right. So the life that's affecting you the most right now, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of wrath, there's a lot of I don't want to say it's helplessness, but it's kind of helplessness, but it's an angry helplessness. the one that's affecting you a lot, it's really funny. I feel like we've skirted around this life a few times, because I know I've done a couple of these reads for you, but I don't think we've ever touched on this one. Like, it's almost like this whole life is angry. So the life we're talking about here, I'm going to say it's probably about 300 years ago. And in that life, you were born a male. You were born, I'm going to say that this is probably whatever it is where like Greece is here. It's like at the edge of what modern Turkey is. My brain just drew a blank. So if you come down through Greece and Turkey, it's like at the edge right there. There's a little area right over the border of Turkey. But being born into this family, this was more almost a tribal scenario here, like born into a tribe of people instead of in a big city, etc. This is one of the last like nomadic tribes that were there. And they weren't super nomadic. You just lived way the fuck out. But your father was one of the elders in the community, one of the elders that dealt with security and fighting and training the warriors and things like that. So from the time you were born, that's what was expected of you, was to be a fighter. So starting training at 4 and doing nothing but training every single day, almost all day. And in this life here, there is an issue, like you're shorter, you're smaller than the other boys. And so because of who your dad is, you also get picked on a lot. So there's a lot of unfairness. There's a lot of pent up anger just from that unfairness in the childhood of this life. And then as you move on and get older and so on, that being smaller works in your favor because you learn how to move faster and so on. But there's an issue here with you disobeying something with your father and him sending you away to basically fight in someone else's army. And that is a sticking point still in. It's really funny too, because it's affecting you in this life, but it's the anger that's affecting you. It's not the I need to go back. It's the anger and the betrayal. That's it right there. Because you're one of the best, fighters in your family, in your tribe, in your area. And when you get sent to this other place, I want to say you're probably 16, 17, 18 years old, like right in there. It's only a couple of years and you die in battle. So there's a lot. You never get to go back home. You don't even really know what land you're in when you do pass away. And so this is such an angry sticking point for you, that betrayal, that it comes up sometimes at a weird time, even when there is no betrayal going on in your life. It will pop up. It seems like the times when things are going really well in your life, that's when this stuff pops up. That's when this anger and this betrayal and this just intense, white, hot anger pop up. And you don't ever let it out. You just kind of squish it back down because you don't understand why it is. And I don't see, hi, Titanium Tammy, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving, love. I don't see you in the chat, so what I'm going to say is this. you've got to let that anger out. You can't just squish it back down. Now, I'm not saying to obviously like scream and yell at everybody for no reason, but you need to find a healthy way to let this out, whether it is writing short stories and, you know, dealing with this, whether it is buying a punching bag, I don't know. Thank you for that. Whatever it is that you need to do to deal with this, Miss Kathy. I gotta sneeze. I knew that was coming. Whatever it is that you got to do to deal with this anger, Miss Kathy, you're going to have to, because it's going to keep popping up until it overwhelms you, and it's going to come out in a way that is not going to be very healthy. Somebody said journaling helps them. Journaling is a great thing. Doing a vlog, well, you know, whatever. Things like that are fantastic to, thank you, Suzanne. They are fantastic to help you get through a lot of this anger, especially when you don't know why you're angry. Because this kind of shit stays with you, and it kind of continues to pop up in every meat sack that you have. So until you deal with this anger of that betrayal and feeling like you were expendable, I think that's going to be the best way to explain this. There's a betrayal, and then feeling like and kind of knowing that you were expendable, because a parent who is supposed to be, you're supposed to take that parent's place when you get older, them sending you away on purpose, you know, like that's a pretty big betrayal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm going to recommend dealing with that anger in some kind of healthy way, but it has to come out. You can't just squish it down. You can't just squish it down anymore. Like, it's not going to work out if you do. It's going to be really bad. So I hope that makes sense, Miss Kathy. I know you'll be watching this later. Miss Nicole C, you are my last first 5. You could never journal unless it comes with a vault. I mean, I would bet that's probably why certain people used to, you know, write backwards or write in code. Oh, thank you, Raven. I wish I had shown you guys this card. This card has popped up in every single reading except for Zane's reading. And the last, well, this one and the second one, the one I just did, it was in this last position. Both times. Both times. All right, Nicole. So I don't know if you're here, Nicole, but it's this life that's affecting you right now. Y'all are not seeing me on. The one that's affecting you right now is really interesting because it's one. You have an interesting thing that you've done 3 times. You've done this 3 times. Your soul has done this 3 times. you incarnate, and if I'm not saying that you're bougie, but you incarnate, and if you do not like the layout of that life, you're like, nope, I'm done. Like you have the one that pulled up right now. You have passed as an infant 3 times because you're just like, It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. Like if you really think about it, if you're like, you know what? No, I don't want to do this. I'm not doing this. I'm not in this place. I'm not doing this. It's funny. The first time you did this, you were born like during the middle of the Black Plague. Not the first time, the last time. What we're talking about right here. You were like in the middle of the Black Plague. Nope, not doing that. The time before that was in the middle of a big war, and I'm trying to see where this war was. Like literally born behind a hay cart during a battle. And you were like, nope, not doing this either. The first time was a really long time ago. This first time, I don't know what volcano this is around, but this first time was a couple of days before a huge eruption. And you checked out of that one too. Like you checked out of that one too. It's funny. So you have a unique knack for leaving the scene before things get really bad. You have this innate 6th sense that, or 8th sense or 9th sense or whatever you want to call it, that allows you to know when something's about to get really bad, and you're just like, you had a dream about a volcano somewhere when looking online. So do you have a fear of lava? Do you have a fear of a volcano? I don't think so. In the life I'm talking about, you didn't pass away in the volcano, but it's like you knew it was coming, and all 3 of those times that I was talking about, this is just passing away in your sleep when you're only a couple days old. Like, just not doing this. But that first life that we're talked about, always have, it gives you weird feels. That first life that we talked about, I would say you were probably a couple of days old and checked out about the time that the eruption started. So, yeah. So it's funny that we're kind of talking about the last one of these that happened. Because I think as an adult in the meat sack that you're in right now, I think you're feeling this feeling of, I don't want to do this anymore. Where do I check out? But you know you can't check out. So you're having to deal with that feeling of, okay, well, I can't really check out. I'm stuck here in this one. And I think it's got you in this kind of like, well, fuck it mode lately. Because there's not anger. There's not some intense trauma. Like there's nothing like that. It is more of a, you know what, if this is what we're doing, fuck it. Like, fuck it. I never understood, like, I'm not sad. So you understand the feeling that, that I'm describing. It's just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Like, you just want to be done. So I will say this. We're going to talk about that first one, because I feel like that one is the one that affects you a lot, even though the last time you did this is the one that's affecting you now. That first one is the one that kind of started this role. Your soul has a really unique knack for getting what it wants. Got you. Okay. So you've always kind of been obsessed with it and known about it. So you understand exactly the feeling I'm saying. Your soul gets, I don't want to say gets what it wants, because that's not always the case, but it's like, I would be interested to know what markers you have in your charts. You have 3 intentional, okay, surrounding you, just the 3. So it's interesting. It's interesting you say that, especially after me saying that you've done that 3. I would really, really be interested to see what's in your birth chart as far as where your soul is from. Because you have this soul that it's almost like you have kind of a get out of jail free card, and that I don't think you can use it too many more times, but when you get put into a meat sack and you get the download of this is all the things you have to do, like you kind of have a punch card of getting out of jail free, you know, like I'm done. The reason that this is popping up, I would imagine that 3 has been a very, I think that's why no matter how depressed I've been, I push through it. I have a feeling that the number 3 has been popping up a lot for you, and will continue to pop up a lot for you. The other thing about this is that even though there's not really a life per se to base this on, that all 3 of these were like a day or 2, I would be willing to bet part of my booty that this meat sack you're in right now, if this is not your last life, then the next one is. Then this is like second to last. I think you're on your kind of last little bit of clearing some shit up. When it comes to this right here, like it's your choice if you want to do another 1 or 10 or whatever, or if you're like, and I'm done. So it's your choice. I think that you I think that you chose the meat sack that you're in right now because of the time that you're going to live in, because of all the changes, all the shifts, all the intense history that's happening. You chose this meat sack on purpose because of this. So why are these popping up? I think that these are popping up to remind you that you have the power to, that you have way more power than you realize you have in this life. The other thing I'm going to say, at the risk of sounding crazies, goosebumps before you said that. The other thing I'm going to say, at the risk of sounding crazy, is that, I mean, welcome to my crazy train. You have an interesting, I almost said bond, but that's not the word, working relationship with things that are more in the dark. You have an interesting working relationship with entities, with beings, things like that. I will say that the last one that we're talking about with these 3, the last one, there is a little regret. There is a little regret that your soul has of not living that one, of finishing that one. So there is a little regret there. So this, I would bet, is probably what's popping up and what's fueling some of this need because it's like a need to know something, but you don't even know what the question is. And so you're just kind of throwing every dart you have and seeing what sticks. But the thing is, the things that stick aren't what you want to know about. Okay. Here's what I'm going to recommend, because this is kind of a jumble of things. My hands are cold and I've got a blankie, so I'm putting my hands in the blankie. Here's what I'm going to recommend, because this is a jumble. And this is just like a fun exercise for you. Yes, Miss Kathy, they will absolutely be uploaded. This is going to be like a fun exercise for you. I'm going to recommend that you either get a new notebook, or you do this on the computer. I personally type faster than I can write anymore. I would build out what you think these lives would have been like. The last one, okay, so the first one with the volcano aspect in it, you were a girl in that one. The middle one, you were also a girl. And then this last one, you would have been a boy. So I would literally write stories for those lives, because I think that right there will help you move forward. I think that will help you deal with this kind of like almost a regret that you didn't just stay and deal with those things. And I think it will give you a chance to have kind of lived through those lives vicariously by writing that. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. I would write narratives for these three lives. But I would start with the male, with the one that was the most recent, because that's the one that's affecting you. Because there was a lot of bad that would have happened with that life, but there was also something amazingly good that you missed out on, if that makes sense. So that's what I would recommend. Plus, it also gives you the awesome creative aspects. The second and the third, literally like a day or two. The second, and these are all just, you're the master of, or your soul is the master of, you know what, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to wake back up. Like you just, yeah. So the first one, with the volcano, I'm going to say is probably, I'm going to say that one is probably about 600 AD. The second one, the middle one, that is a girl, that one is in the mid 1400s, like 1420s. The one that is a male that's kind of affecting you the most right now, that one was in the 1660s. Does that help? And with the first one, there you lived a couple days. With the other two, it was literally just 24 hours, a little over 24 hours. I have no idea, girl. It's been way too long since I was in history class. It's been way too long. Oh yeah, this would be good to delve down with some Blue Lotus. Yeah, this would be really good. So yeah. Guys, I'm going to have to tap for tonight. I don't know what's going on with my throat, but It's getting really bad. So for those of you guys that have reads this evening, I will finish you guys up tomorrow. And for those of you guys that have reads tomorrow, I will finish you Saturday. So we'll just yeah, I'll be finishing these tomorrow and Saturday. Let's just say that. But I am probably about to lose my voice this evening. So I am going to get off of here. I will be back on at noon tomorrow. We'll talk about some Black Friday stuff and some fun shit. And hopefully this is not going to be a thing, because I like to talk. So there's that. All right, guys. I love you. I'm gonna hit the hay. I want y'all to hit the hay, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay.